Netherlands, number 44, Milko Lieverst. At guard, 6'3", and a senior from Philadelphia, number 11, Doug Overton. At guard, 6 feet, and a junior from Philadelphia, number 14, Randy Woods. The head coach of the Explorers in his 5th year, William Speedy Morris. And now, the starting lineup for your Fighting Irish. Forward, 6'9", and a freshman from Wabash, Indiana, number 54, John Ross. At forward, 6'5", and a senior from Springfield, Kentucky, number 35, Kevin Ellery. At center, 6'11", and a junior from Pittsburgh, PA, number 5, Keith Tower. At guard, 6'1", and a senior from New Orleans, Louisiana, number 10, Tim Singleton. At guard, 6'1", and a junior from Houston, Texas, number 12, Elmer Bennett. The head coach of the Fighting Irish, Digger Phelps.
Digger looking for win number 390 tonight against LaSalle. We'll have the tip-off for you on Sports Channel America after these messages. Snapped last year in Philadelphia. LaSalle beat the Irish. And despite the fact that Lionel Simmons was the big player for LaSalle last year, Doug Overton, I think, was the guy that really beat Notre Dame last year.
Took over the basketball game and played one-on-one about the last 5 minutes.
Notre Dame with another different starting lineup. They bring David Sweet off the bench. John Ross and Kevin Ellery, both in the starting lineup. And here's Bennett. And that's a 2-pointer for Elmer Bennett.
Belongs to Elmer.
That's been kind of quiet, Jim, but the Irish would really love to see Elmer Bennett get that shooting eye back. He's shooting well below his normal range this year.
Yep, he has been, and that was very nice action on his part on that first possession.
Levers being played by Ross.
Boy.
And a 3-pointer from Randy Woods.
He pounded the ball inside that time, Ted, and Keith Tower turned and looked into the pivot, and he's guarding one of their best 3-point shooters.
Well, that's what you have. LaSalle is one of those teams that has taken advantage of the 3-point rule, and they've made it a major weapon. Oh, that was out of bounds, but Singleton saves it nicely to Ellery. Still 25 to shoot. Singleton open. Tim Singleton. I was going to say, Jim, I'm one of those people that believes, too, you just have to have 3-point shooting now to be an effective college basketball team. It's become such a weapon.
You bet. The game of the 90s, I'll tell you that.
Overton short, but Levers runs down the rebound, and there goes Overton again, and let's see. That's going to be a charging foul on Overton. Elmer Bennett with a little smile on his face. Overton's not smiling.
Take a look and see if he's planted now. I think that Tim Singleton was planted right there, and that's a pretty good call. Doug Overton should have stopped one step sooner and taken that right off the glass.
Well, Salle is not a particularly deep team. If they get in any kind of foul trouble, it would be a big benefit to Notre Dame, but so is the shooting. Bennett has hit his first 2. Bennett's shooting is 41% this year. 3
possessions for Notre Dame, Ted, and every one of them they have executed very, very well. They're very patient, and they're breaking down the defense. Both teams playing man-to-man.
Bird is short. Ross has it knocked away, and Woods is able to save it. So good hustle by Randy Woods gives LaSalle another chance. And Ellery with a rebound. .6'3" Notre Dame. Here's Tower. Turns right away. Basket counts, and a foul for Tower.
Boy, Nice execute. Watch how he's got him backed in. He wanted that basketball, turns right in. Milko Levers put the hand right in his face and right on the arm, and that is great concentration by Keith Tower. That's a big-time basket. Last 7 games, he's averaged about 12 points and 8 rebounds a game. He has really turned it up a notch or two.
It just seems like Tower is a player that maybe needed to get out of the shadow of a better-known player to really thrive.
I'll tell you, I don't know if there's any significance, but when LaFonso went out, he turned it up.
You guys can digger that. He says he doesn't really know, but the circumstances all would say that. Oh, great move by Overton. And it's knocked out by the Irish. What a move by Overton.
LaSalle hasn't gotten into sync offensively yet, but boy, the Irish have gotten as much as you can get on every possession.
Well, already, good tip out there by Levers, and it's out of bounds off Bennett. But already you've seen LaSalle's game plan. In 12 out of their 17 games this year, LaSalle has attempted at least 23-point shots.
Well, they have shot 407, in case our viewers and our listeners want to know. 407, Notre Dame's taken 167.
If you shoot 20 a game, that's basically about a third of your shots. That's a lot of shots from out there. Here's another one. I think that's 5 already that they've tried. Here's Bennett, 3 on 2. Great reversal by Bennett. He left Jack Hurd flat-footed. And 6 early points for Bennett.
Anytime Bennett can get Jack Hurd one-on-one, Ted, he's going to take it, and that's just what he did.
Well, a very good start for Notre Dame, and LaSalle just bombing away. Off to a bad start. Here's Levers. Call for a foul. That's 2 quick fouls on the LaSalle center.
I'll tell you one thing, they are not going to stop firing it up either, but that's the thing. You have to hope a team like LaSalle comes in and that they are a little cold getting out of the starting gate, and that's exactly what's happened to them. Notre Dame is playing good defense, doing the switching so that they can get out on those 3-point shooters. They'll give them all they want inside. They're not going to give it to them outside.
Outside of the one that Woods made, though, LaSalle seems to be just limp patient as Ellery gets the inside position.
Boy, Ted, the first 4 minutes, it's as well as I've seen Notre Dame execute in their half-court offense.
Another 6 for 6.
I guess that says something, doesn't it?
Another one by Hurd. Levers got an offensive board. And Ellery out with it. Stripped by Woods and a foul on Ellery. Or is that on?
I guess it's on Randy Woods, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
The guy that's going to do all the hammering inside for LaSalle is Milko Levers, because when you're taking all those 3-point shots, he's about the only one left to rebound.
Well, a great start for the Irish, 13-3. The right telecast is presented by the authority of Sports Channel America and is intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures and accounts of this event without the express written consent of Sports Channel America is prohibited. LaSalle has missed 8 shots in a row. Notre Dame has made all 6. And that's your story.
The amazing thing about it, Ted, is in talking with Speedy Morris last night and Joe Mihalik, the assistant coach, both of them told me how well they are playing defensively, and that's what they've been so happy about. But boy, Notre Dame has operated beautifully.
Yeah, not the first 4 minutes. Although it must also be pointed out that LaSalle has not played the national schedule that Notre Dame has played.
You are absolutely right. It's no knock on LaSalle.
Ellery has it roll off. It'll go to the line. But Notre Dame is a little more tested team, I guess, is the point here.
Yeah, LaSalle is in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, 8-1 in the conference, but the caliber of competition, I agree, because you take a look at Notre Dame's schedule and look at what they've got to go with the last 11 games, and you know what's in front of them.
Foul there on Hurd, so that's 5 already on LaSalle. And Ellery to the line. Sexoral halftime report coming up tonight. We'll have Leandra Riley's Olympic news and notes, as well as Notre Dame news and notes. And there's, boy, look at what Notre Dame has to deal with in the next 3 weeks. A lot of games in a very few amount of days.
Well, you got a Creighton team that's right up there in the Missouri Valley Conference. You got DePaul that's on a 5 or 6 game winning streak. You know Temple in the Atlantic 10 Conference having another good year. So Ellery with 1, and the Irish
Irish lead by 11.
Boy, now that I want to tell you is an interesting match because they have Tower guarding Randy Woods out on the wing.
Hurd with another one, rimming it out. It's been almost 90% three-point shooting thus far by LaSalle. Maybe a little too much. And Notre Dame is hitting everything. Tower makes it 16-3. Three-point shooting is fine, but I would think LaSalle would be, well, there's a decent one. Overton had help from his screen there. Long rebound to President, knocked out by the Irish. I mean, they're not being patient at all.
No, oh, not at all. But see, that's not their game. They're going to take those three-point shots, and it's not like they're not open to get them. They're just flat out missing them.
Well, there's a layup missed by Woods inside, and then President got the rebound and was bumped.
On the floor?
On the floor.
Out of bounds.
That's the first Irish foul, and they signaled a man that doesn't exist, so I'm not really sure who that was on. Referee signaled.
That's exactly what Jack Lloyd's saying.
The signal was of a number that does not exist.
Exactly. You're right.
Signal was.
Now, that's a tough thing in officiating, Ted. Yeah. Look at, see, because John Carr's talking to Sam Licklider. I did it for 20 years, and when you look at Digger saying something to John Carr, when you lose the foul, you know, it's really tough.
Yeah.
They've got it on John Ross. Or Joe Ross, is it?
John Ross.
John Ross.
First Irish foul. All right, now we can play. 16-3, Notre Dame. 5.5 minutes in.
Yeah, 44.
Overton got fouled, and he'll go to the line as Bennett got him.
See, the interesting thing, Ted, is they are shooting, as you said, nothing but three-point shots. You know the long shot, the long rebound, and they are taking long shots. So even when you've got Levehurst and you've got President as the only two rebounders in there, it still affects them because the rebounds are coming out so far that it takes some of their effectiveness away from them.
There's points in 5 minutes for LaSalle. Overton averaging almost 26 points a game. Tonight he'll pass Kenny Durrett, who was a great LaSalle player of the 70s. And he'll move into 7th place on the all-time school scoring list. Ellery for 3. The Irish actually missed one, but they get their own rebound. And Ellery has 5. Wow. My goodness. That needed a 29-cent stamp, didn't it? I mean, Woods, he looks at a film, he won't believe how far out he was on that shot. He
Long distance is the next best thing to being there, Ted.
Wow. I think as a coach, you got to say something about that. That's just a bad shot. There's President hitting one. Broderick President ending a streak of 12 straight missed shots by LaSalle. So it is 18-7, Notre Dame.
Now, they've gone out of the man-to-man, and they're going into LaSalle, and gone into a zone. Notre Dame was really operating against that man-to-man defense.
And they don't have a very strong inside game. Levehurst was taken out at that last time out with his 2 fouls. They have a little bit of a slider player and Don Shelton in there. Ellery, good fake, and he just misses getting it to drop. But a good fake by Ellery got Shelton up.
That's where Ellery is at his best. He is obviously their best inside-outside player. He is so big and strong and physical inside that, boy, when he gets that ball in position, there aren't many times he's going to get it up on the glass.
Ray Schultz checks in.
He's been getting a lot of time for them, Ted. He's a big body with a banger, a stick-back guy, and he'll come in for Milko a lot. He didn't come in for him on that occasion, but he is getting a lot more playing time, and I watched him in practice last night. They're expecting some things. He's only a sophomore. He's coming along. They're happy with the progress that young man's making.
But they're Notre Dame is pounding him inside right now. They need some presence in there. Of course, Notre Dame without Ellis hasn't been able to pound too many teams. 7 points already for Ellery, and he's off back-to-back 18-point games.
See, that's token pressure because Notre Dame's not going to be able to do too much with pressure defense against Overton and Woods. There's no way they're going to stop them from bringing it up.
Inside, President with the maneuver, and a travel is called. Wipe it out. President took over Lionel Simmons' starting spot this year, but he's not a scorer. The points go elsewhere. Irish have played without a substitution. This lineup's been so strong, Digger hasn't wanted to make a move yet. Good ball movement, but Ellery missed. Then Schultz clears it. Overton. And that's what he did so well for Notre Dame last year. Just they can't stop him when he gets a little head of steam one-on-one.
Exactly, and the thing that hurt Notre Dame last year is that the back people did not step over and take that charge or distract him. You'll recall that, and that's what Digger was so upset about. The one thing the LaSalle coaches told me, Ted, is when they're not playing well, it's because they are impatient. They start freelancing and don't get enough touches, and I think that's the point you were making about 5 minutes ago.
Well, they just came out
and fired away, right?
Absolutely. I just don't think they had it. I mean, this, wow. I mean, he makes it, Overton makes it, you say, good shot, but my goodness, that is just, I mean, with 43 on the shot clock, 30-foot shots are...
Well, you can take that 45-second clock tonight.
20-10 for Notre Dame. Damon Sweet and Brooks Boyer are in. Ross and Singleton out. Damon Sweet right up. And Overton clears it. Here's see how Notre Dame can fare. Well, another one by Overton. Well, 2 in a row, and all of a sudden, that changes the game quickly, doesn't it?
You look at the way Notre Dame's been playing, and look at the way LaSalle's been playing, and it's only a 7-point game.
But that's the 3-point weapon.
That's right.
You can lose the lead in a hurry, and you get it back in a hurry. Tower walk. Now here's where Notre Dame's going to get a very much-needed timeout right now before LaSalle runs a couple of more in a row.
Shooting 4 of 16, Ted, for only 25%. Notre Dame is shooting 8 of 13 for 62%. LaSalle has made their last 3. Notre Dame has missed their last 3.
Doug Overton, number 44, has been shaved into the side of his head. Doug Overton played at Dobbins Tech High School in Philadelphia. A high school teammate as a traveling call there against Bron Holland of 51, who's in for LaSalle. But
it's the last thing that Brian Holland wants to do, and it's the last thing Speedy Morris wants him to do, is to get out away from the basket and put the basketball on the floor. That's not his role. Oh, that's a double dribble and a good call.
Yep. Overton still in the game there with Woods. Overton played with Hank Gathers and with Bo Kimball and on the same high school team, and Overton has dedicated this entire season to the memory of Gathers. He and Lionel Simmons, also from Philadelphia, extremely overcome last year during a game. Here's Woods bombing again, and Holland got a rebound, but they're going to call a foul on LaSalle. Foul on Schultz. And that's the 7th on LaSalle, so this will be a 1-and-1. Amazing what Overton says the influence of Gathers in his life was. He says, you know, they'd get to a day like Saturday and everybody want to sleep in, and Hank Gathers come over his house and wake him up, get him out of bed and say, no, you got to get out and work. We got to work to play this game.
See, and that's what I've said so many times about younger people. They look and they watch the games and think, isn't this great? But very few of them ever realize how many hours and hours and hours are spent getting to that point.
Tower missed the front end, but the Irish steal it back, and Bennett has a...
Schultz had the rebound. They stripped it right out of his hand.
Overton operating against Bennett. Bennett's been guarding him while Singleton has been out. Holland. And bodies go down, but Brooks Boyer out with the ball. Irish have Joe Ross in the game. Good pass from Brooks Boyer to Joe Ross.
That is good recognition by Brooks Boyer, boy. 2 freshmen that really executed beautifully, and that's a good timeout by Speedy.
And 2 possessions in a row bothered him, and we'll pause now for a regional break.
Tell you, live by the sword and you die by it, don't you?
But that's why you can't ever feel comfortable against a team like this, because they can chew up a deficit real fast. Notre Dame has Ellery in the game with Joe Ross and Sweet, Boyer and Bennett. Neubauer got fouled, or excuse me, that's Jack Hurd, and will be at the line as the foul is on Boyer.
One thing about Jack Hurd, I thought he was more of a standstill shooter the last year or two, but boy, he can come off. I watched 2 or 3 films on them, and he comes off those screens and picks and curls, and he can shoot on the move.
Hurd, you see, it's 17 a game. He's a very quiet guy. It's overshadowed by the backcourt.
And that's the same with Overton, as you said. Boy, he was in the shadows of Lionel Simmons for so long, but as you said last year, he took over that game, and he's going to be a #1 pick, or at least high #2 pick.
Boyer's pass, but President read it, stole it, but Shelton was not ready for the handoff, and the Irish will get it back. LaSalle this year has been fairly good with the basketball. Again, in their league, they have not turned it over very much.
That's one of the things about a Speedy Morris team. They don't, and they're only averaging 13 turnovers a game. It's been very good.
LaSalle only lost 2 games last year. They lost to Loyola Marymount, and then they lost to Clemson in his second round of the NCAA tournament by 4 points. They were unbeaten, 19-0 in their league. Their losses this year have been to Florida State, Temple, and Iona, which was a conference loss.
Illegal pick on Joe Ross. He was trying to set the screen so that the defensive man couldn't get out on the wingman for Notre Dame, but he moved, and that's a good call.
Well, John Ross checks in for Joe. The Twins are celebrating their 20th birthday today. And Overton. They don't even look at the line. It's as if they have a little sonar and says, I'm close enough. Overton. Tough shot. Oh, but look at the shooter's bounce for Overton. He has 10. Sometimes you worry about a player like an Overton and like Woods that are, of course, have pro prospects in mind. If you think they might not be trying to show some of the pro scouts, they can hit the pro 3. Singleton back in for the Irish. And Damon Sweet is called for a charging foul. That LaSalle defense beginning to crank it up a notch here.
Tell you, the way they're shooting right now, I wasn't quite sure I agreed with that call, and I still don't. There is no way that Randy Woods had the angle right there on Damon Sweet. That's not a good call. That is a good shot that we got right there, because Woods had to be at least another step over before he was going to draw that charge against Sweet.
Well, they just keep firing away, and it's Woods. Well, LaSalle is within 4. Woods is hit 2 threes, and Overton's hit 2 threes.
They're using the press. They're extending the defense more right now, see? It's like a 1-1-2-1. Then they drop into a 2-2-1 kind of, and right at the 10-second line is where they're trying to put all the pressure on Notre Dame.
That was a rare errant pass from Singleton to turn the ball over. Notre Dame 16-3, but LaSalle has caught fire. But Woods really off on that. Ellery wide open. Ellery with 9 in the first half.
That's good judgment by Ellery. He just saw the opening, stepped right out. He put himself right into position to get that pass and then put it right up.
President inside, put the ball down, and Ross slapped it away, and it is held, and possession will go to LaSalle.
Ted, I keep looking over at Speedy to see what he's doing when they keep shooting those three-point shots. And he just it hasn't bothered him one bit. He just said, I still hate the three-point shot because I think it's too close. But even though I'm no Phi Beta Kappa, he said, I'm not dumb either. We've got the people who can hit it, so we're going to take it.
Well, if he thinks it's too close, then he ought to tell his kids to get up to the line when they shoot it. They're shooting from 5 feet behind it.
You aren't kidding.
There's Bennett with Overton chasing, but Bennett, oh, they call Overton for brushing him with the body. Basket counts and a foul. Overton tried to intimidate, but then not foul, and he got caught.
Take a look at the end of the action and don't look anywhere but down below, and we'll see whether he got him. I guess he got the hands on him, and you've got to protect, as I've said a number of times, the man with the basketball. Doug Overton had no chance of doing anything then unless he was going to try to pin it on the glass, I thought, Ted. And if that was the case, he should have just tried to distract Bennett and leave it go, and in the process, he picked up a foul.
It's 2 on Overton, and Bennett with 11 in the first half. Notre Dame, that runs off 5 straight, and the lead is back to 9.
Isn't it ironic that we talked about Elber Bennett and his point production right before the start of the game? Having a good first half.
Overton. And Tower has the rebound. LaSalle has not brought Liebers back in the game since he left early with those 2 fouls. 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Notre Dame by 9. Always trying to get Ellery down low on the same side with Singleton. Now they force it in, and it's turned over. The Explorers steal it.
Just no spacing there at all. Just trying to force a pass with no spacing, and they didn't have to do it.
Oh, Overton's called for traveling. He's going to flip it to Woods on the right wing, and then changed his mind. And you see what an outstanding year he's had.
15th leading scorer in the country, and I want to tell you, except for the 2 3-pointers he hit in a row, Ted, he's struggling.
You know what's most amazing about Overton this year? He has only been on the bench for 10 minutes of basketball all year. And you're going to get a push-off here on...
Well, in 17 LaSalle games, Ted, they've got 685 minutes of playing time, and he's played 675 minutes out of the 685. They had an overtime game against Penn. That is almost unbelievable.
Damon Sweet's second foul. That puts Notre Dame over the limit. And Hurd hits the front end. Don't forget the Drexoral halftime report coming up tonight. We'll have Leandra Riley's Olympic news and notes. We'll have Notre Dame news and notes as well, including football signing day today. All coming up at halftime. 4 points for Jack Hurd. Notre Dame by 7.
A 1-2-2 press. Oh. Damon landed in the right spot. Now, if he'd have landed in the back court, it would have been an over and back because it's where you last were.
If he'd had Bob Lanier's feet, he'd been
he'd have been over. You're exactly right.
Ron Holland pick and roll, and the foul. Overton will go to the line.
And that's a play that Overton should have converted on. He lost his concentration. He expected that he was going to get hit there, but I think he thought that he was going to get... Now, look at there. See, he caught Tim Singleton because Tim thought he was going out to the 3-point area, and so Tim was overplaying the pass to that side, and that was good recognition by Overton because he backdoored him going the other way as soon as he caught Singleton leaning toward the 3-point line.
That's actually a strategy you would think that LaSalle could employ as this game goes on because they've got Notre Dame so thinking about the 3.
Absolutely, or at least to step up. There's some twos that you're going to, they're giving them that.
They should be able to get free on some cuts to the basket.
There's the 1-2-2 again. Falling right back into a 2-3 right out of it.
Down to 8 on the shot clock. Sweet create. Rounded out and cleared by Shelton. So LaSalle can get within 2 or 3 here.
Do you believe that shot?
I really don't. I'm going to be honest with you, this team they couldn't play against the top caliber competition in the country shooting like that. I mean, it's just too far away.
They are 3 of 12 on three-point shot. Now they got 51 pushing off, I think. Sure, it's exactly what happened. They fronted Bron Holland, and he just put the hand right on the back and got the call, and it's a good call.
Holland commits the 9th LaSalle foul, so this will be a 1-and-1. Watch where this is.
Watch. Now look where he is. Look where he is. I mean, that's long range.
The only thing, as you mentioned earlier, the only thing it does do, if you're not a big team, it does give you a better chance to rebound.
Yep.
You get long rebounds.
And that's why it's so important for Notre Dame guards to get into bodies, and they've got to do some rebounding, because people like Tower and Ellery, if they're inside, probably aren't going to do a lot of rebounding.
I just don't know that you could play against, I mean, the NCAA tournament type of competition with shot selection like we've seen in the first half.
Well, I don't know what they're shooting on three-point shots right now, Ted, but yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. They're just no, especially if you're shooting about 20%, which is, I guess, right around where they must be.
Because you're never going to get fouled out there. They have gotten to the line 8 times, but in the first half, but they're not going to get fouled shooting out there. See, Overton, this is what he could do. To me, rather than gunning the threes, you let clear out every other time, let him do it. Then Hurd follows.
Tell you one thing they'll do, boy. You play for Speedy Morris, they'll hustle and they'll work hard.
Well, they got napped there on defense, and look at Sweet go high for that rebound. LaSalle fell asleep on defense on that last possession. Bennett had a wide open 3. Notre Dame by 5, 4 minutes in the half, and Sweet hits. First basket for Damon Sweet. Damon Sweet at 4. He is having another great shooting year, 58%. Woods for 3, and that's with Bennett right there. Third 3 of the half for Woods. Hurd fell getting back. Notre Dame could not take advantage.
The whole LaSalle coaching staff standing in front of us, so we're not getting much at this end.
You're in a bad spot here, James.
I am.
Why don't you just tell him down in front?
Oh man, I'm telling you, it's really tough when you're blinded. And I don't watch the monitor, as you well know. I've got to be looking at that floor from my old playing and coaching background, but I can't.
Now we're seated just to the left of the LaSalle bench, and then all 4 of their coaches are standing up during the play. Doug Overton just committed his 3rd foul, and here's a rarity. Overton is coming out of the game with 3:20 to play in the half. We mentioned he's only been out of 10 minutes of action all year, and he comes out here with 3 fouls. And it's 10 on LaSalle, so this will be a 2-shot foul for Bennett.
You're looking at the only player to start every game for Notre Dame this year, Elmer Bennett.
Bennett is now within a point of his per-game average in the first half. And his 13th point gives the Irish a 6-point lead as we get to timeout.
2 3-point shots. LaSalle has taken 13.
That's an interesting stat, though, there, even with the 3-point shooting, because Bennett has 13. Notre Dame's backcourt has done all right. But Overton is out for the rest of the half, we think, with 3 fouls. Neubauer, 24, in the game for LaSalle. In with Hurd missing, but then Shelton is fouled. And that'll put Don Shelton at the line as they get Kevin Ellery on his first 19. So Shelton, a junior from Trenton, New Jersey, a 63% foul shooter. LaSalle's conference this year, the Metro Atlantic Conference, lost 3 teams. They were a 12-team conference in the past. Holy Cross, Fordham, and Army all left. They're a 9-team conference right now, and there's been talk, speculation, LaSalle might look to realign. There's been some conversations about the Atlantic 10, which will lose Penn State next year in basketball. Sweet lost it when he went up, but Tower gets it back, and then Tower's called for trampling. Not quite sure if Sweet must have just lost the grip on the ball when he went up.
And I'll be honest with you, I thought he had gotten hit, but he mustn't have, Ted, because the official was standing right there. I didn't mean to imply that he did, but you're right. I think the ball just came out, and he lost his concentration when he was getting ready to slam it.
From our angle, we're looking through the defender. It looks like he got hit, but there was no whistle and no complaints. So.
Boy, a three-pointer right now, you're going to bring this game into a one-pointer, if you can believe it, with still 2:30 left.
Carl Kozin in for the first time for Notre Dame. Neubauer. Hurd. 12 to shoot. Look at Ellery really hammering him outside. President. And Tower lost the rebound. He got it stuck momentarily against the glass.
Notre Dame is doing a very good job, and Speedy's yelling, go back door, because Notre Dame is really overplaying.
Nice drive, charge! No basket, Don Shelton. Boy, after a good create there by Neubauer, they get no basket.
Well, I was waiting to see how long it would be. Speedy doesn't leave that coat on for 40 minutes, I'll tell you. Finally, he's saying, yeah, he's agreeing with the call. He just said to him, go straight up and don't try to lean in and shoulder somebody out.
Bennett coming out, and Ellery goes down to post up. Singleton has the lane. Tim Singleton with his second basket. Of course, if LaSalle could stay right here, if they can even stay 6 down without Overton at the half, they'd still feel pretty good about things.
See, they haven't got many people on the floor right now that can create, Ted.
And LaSalle runs that long rebound down, and a great play by Bennett to anticipate. And now Bennett in the open floor, and that one was a tip. No, it's out of bounds to LaSalle.
Boy, I have been impressed with the defense that Notre Dame has been playing the last 4 or 5 minutes. They have taken LaSalle right out of its offense. They have been doing a terrific job.
Bennett made a great defensive anticipation. Jack Hurd going in. Jack Hurd on one of his few drives to the hole has 8 points. Notre Dame now no shot clock. And let's see if they hold it. No signal from the bench for one. They're going to play it. And stolen. Woods took it away from Bennett. Beats Neubauer. And one tip doesn't go. Hurd got hammered. Woods gets it in. Basket counts and a foul. Oh, and this game has really changed here in the last 4 minutes, even with Overton out.
Watch Woods now, right down in the lower part of your screen. There's the heavy work being done by the big guys. Then Woods just standing right there at the right time. The ball right into his hands, and he had the presence of mind, boy. He knew he was going to get hit. He just got right up there, and boy, that's a big foul, the third for Elmer Bennett.
Yeah, that is big. So Bennett has 3, Overton for LaSalle 3, and here's Notre Dame's last shot with a 1-point lead. I'm a little surprised the Irish did not hold for 1 in the last possession. They wound up paying the price on a 3-point play by Woods. Kozin with an air ball. And LaSalle will have a chance here. It'll be Woods. That'll count. Whoa, Woods just missing to end the half. And a good first half it was. Notre Dame played well through most of it, but LaSalle with Speedy Morris at the helm charged on the end, even with Doug Overton out with 3 fouls. Hard to believe they only had 7 defensive rebounds in LaSalle, but 14 offensive. They had the board advantage 21-15. But it's Notre Dame ball with a 1-point lead. And Ellery makes it 4. 12 for Ellery. And the Irish stay with Singleton on Overton. And Tower flashing out on Woods. And that is going to be out of bounds. And Singleton did a nice job of blocking out there.
Exactly where we started in the first 20 minutes, right? Notre Dame comes down, gets right into it, and LaSalle comes down and fires the 1 pass and a shot.
And they just, when Singleton's in the game, he's the man that's running around with Overton. You stay right with him.
Zone defense again by LaSalle.
Oh, Notre Dame with some big shooting.
Starting out
back 3.
Same way they did in the first half. Well, they were 6 of 6 in the first half. Now they're 2 of 2 right out of the starting gate, and that's the way to get out, especially when LaSalle made a run at them. Nice overplay.
Bennett, great job. Whoa! Bennett got hammered by Broderick President. I'm going to say something. When we watch this replay again, Bennett, Digger wants it to be a hard, flagrant foul. Watch how wide Bennett goes again. He
Exactly. He did not have to do that, and there's a guy that was trying to pin that ball up in the glass. You've heard me say a lot of times that they're going to come down, and the jumpers and leapers love to get it up on the glass and pin it, but you are so right. Instead of, I guess, isn't the shortest distance between 2 points? You bet. And he took as wide an angle as that as you could have possibly taken, and I really can't tell you, Ted, why he did that unless you have an idea.
No, I just noticed that's but the 3rd or 4th time this year that Bennett on a breakaway has done that. He runs that big wide loop.
And the one reason you want to get into the middle of the floor, Ted, is because you want to cut off the angle of the defensive man, and then he's always chasing you from behind. Now, you don't want to lay the ball up on the glass from right straight in front, because too many times you can miss. You want to get it off the glass.
18 points for Bennett, but he has played an outstanding game. And Speedy Morris uses his second of just 3 timeouts, because Notre Dame has scored the first 8 points of the second half. We'll return on Sports Channel after these messages. To the second half for Notre Dame, 5 by Bennett, 3 by Ellery. And it forced Speedy Morris to a quick timeout, and coming down the stretch, LaSalle will have just 1 timeout remaining.
Notre Dame doing a lot of switching in their man-to-man, which has really been effective.
Almost thrown away, and then Hurd did a great job to save it and hit a 3. Boy, that ball belonged to Singleton, but Jack Hurd somehow got it and then hit a 3. There's a big play for LaSalle. Good feed, and Ellery, basket counts and a foul.
Boy, I keep saying it. That young man is very difficult to defend against, because he can take you outside, and it's tough for the big men to guard him. He can get you inside because he's so big and strong, and that's why they call him the Pit Bull. And he has started the last 3 games, and he has had back-to-back 18-point games against Boston College and Duke.
Doesn't he remind you, I mean, his build a lot like Adrian Dantley when he played here?
And a lot of people talked about that when he first got here his freshman year.
So the Irish up by 8 again, 2 minutes into the second half. Levers, who only played 4 minutes of the first half. Starting with Salle center, now Overton, and he got bodied by Ellery before the shot.
See, and Kevin didn't have to do that. Kevin Ellery was playing very good defense right there, and all he had to do was to keep sliding toward that baseline, and he would have taken that angle away from him, but he got him with the body.
Oh, nice little cut in the lane, and Overton got the roll. One of the things I like about Overton so much is a beautiful little roll and touch on his shot. Last year in Philadelphia, he scored 18 points in the second half of what was a close game. LaSalle won. Ellery hits for the Irish. Good switch over. Boy, Elverton did a nice job there to set that play up. He had the defender going left and a quick turn back to the right. He was in. And now Singleton took a little bump there and lost it out.
See, Jack Hurd is matched up again, and Speedy's spending all his time talking to Jack Hurd because he isn't going to guard, I don't think, Kevin Ellery, either outside or inside, and Notre Dame's going to Ellery.
Overton, long rebound to Bennett. There's a case where Overton took the shot and peeled back.
Yeah,
if he charges in,
he gets the rebound.
Right. Tower. And he got fouled on the shot. Keith Tower. Bad foul by Levers, his third.
And I happen to think it's a pretty good foul. Now watch, I swore I saw him get hit. See, right on the elbow. That is a good call by Sam Licklider. And I don't know why Milko said and raised such a fuss. Now watch, he's going to get him right on the elbow right there. That's good camera work, and that's a good call.
It's a good call and a bad foul.
Sure, and a bad foul. Notre Dame started out the first half 6 of 6. They are now 5 of 5 in this half.
Tower has 8, and the Irish with another spurt, lead by 9.
Kind of been a game of spurts, hasn't it?
Yeah. Randy Woods. The only problem for Notre Dame, not a problem, but they've been in this position so many times this year, only to be caught.
Those people on the you're right. The people on the floor have played a lot of minutes, so there's still 16 to go in this game.
And closing out against the tough teams Notre Dame has played has been tough for them.
Zone defense. They play some 3-2. They play some 2-3.
Bennett. Elmer Bennett with that good little quick move. 20 points for Bennett tonight. His best offensive game in a while. Overton got hammered. Basket will count, and a foul on Singleton.
Now that's a big-time play right there. Singleton could not have played defense any better than he did. And you know, the point I was going to make earlier, Ted, is that collegiate will watch the 180. There it is. Now watch Singleton. He played that as well as you could possibly play it, and even got some body on Overton.
That's the first foul shot missed by LaSalle tonight. They had made 11 in a row. Irish moving against the LaSalle zone. And Ellery shoots it. Boy, Notre Dame is hitting everything. 19 for Ellery. And the Irish have the lead back up to 10.
Kevin seems to like the fact that he's starting, Ted, and getting a lot more playing time, and he's responded.
That's a two-pointer. President missing, and Tower rebounded. Notre Dame has scored 20 points in the first 5 minutes of this half. And that one knocked away by Bennett, but taken back by Levers with Woods. And Ellery rebounds. Woods did not do a good job on that break.
You are absolutely right. He had a chance to bounce that pass to Overton, who was wide open and out in front of him where you knew he saw him.
Bennett running the baseline. Tower turning over the shorter man, and Tower hits.
Boy, there have been spurts in this game where Notre Dame has executed in its half-court offense as well as I've seen it execute all year long. For a spurt in the first half and the spurt right now.
Woods short. Bennett looks to push it. Good bounce on the left wing, but LaSalle got a hand on it, and Neubauer comes away with it. Here's Woods. Now Tower got out on him that time. So Neubauer will take it. Way short. But so short that it surprised the Notre Dame rebounders. And Woods hits. 17 for Woods, his fourth three-pointer. So the Irish lead is 9 at 13:30 to play in the ball game. Inside and off Tower, out of bounds.
Look at the hustle right there. Milko Leverst. Right there, nobody near him, he's going to take it. He's taken him a lot further out than that, and he knew that he had the room to take it. That's not a bad three-point shot there.
Oh, look at that good, quick bounce pass up to Hurd, who had an open three. Damon Sweet in for the Irish rebounds. Sweet, the only change for Notre Dame.
I think Notre Dame has been very patient in half-court offense. They're really trying to break that defense down, and I think they've been doing a pretty good job.
Bennett.
That's his spot.
That is. Fourth on the all-time Notre Dame field goal percentage list, Damon Sweet. He probably won't catch the leader. John Shoemate, 61% shooter in his career at Notre Dame. The Irish have made all 9 of their shots in the second half, and John Ross fouls Jack Hurd. Yeah, the 24 attempts is more than LaSalle would normally, I think, even be expected to take at this time of the game. But the key, Notre Dame's making their 2-point shots.
And their three-point shooting, Ted, I said they've taken 407. 350 of them have been taken by Hurd, Overton, and Woods.
Better be if Levers takes him, then Speedy probably have a...
Yeah, there are some people there that aren't going to take them.
Misses 2 foul shots. So the Irish get a break there, up with the ball and an 11-point lead. Bennett was going to go up there as he had come out behind a Tower screen. Well, that's a tough shot with Woods on him. Sweet crashing, kept that ball alive.
There's the active Keith Tower. There's the kid that has really become active the last 7 or 8 games, and that's why he's getting rebounds. He said, you're amazed at what can happen when you're active. Look at
12 points for Tower. And Notre Dame has matched its biggest lead when they were up 16-3. Hurd missing a 3, and here's Bennett. Helmer veers outside and takes a 3. And Randy Woods with it for LaSalle. And Hurd traveled. Caught it on the run. And travels. 11:25 remaining on a strong second half by the Irish. They lead by 13.
Story in the paper about him the other night, Ted, that he spent an awful lot of time working with Kevin McHale.
Oh, it's a good person to learn from.
I would say so. Nobody works harder than Kevin McHale.
People in basketball should know more as we look at the shooting. Look what Notre Dame has done in the second half.
I'll tell you, their half-court execution, I want to say it because I have to give them credit. It's as well, they're shooting with so much confidence, and they're getting a lot of touches, they're playing in control, and they're just breaking down the LaSalle defense.
Sweet had Hurd fly by, and Levers with the rebound. Overton using Big Bron Holland for a screen. Steps out. Look at that bounce. My goodness.
A three-pointer.
Somebody's been living right. Holland gets a 3. Brooks Boyer in for the Irish with Singleton. So Bennett is out right now. Sweet, Ross, and Tower. Tower hard bank a little too hard, and then crashing. They're going to get John Ross on on the offensive board, his third foul.
Not a bad move by Tower. I think maybe he could have taken that jumper without putting the ball on the floor, because I think he's going to be more effective standing still shooting than putting it and taking it off the dribble. Notre Dame's matching. Last couple of possessions, they've gotten out of their man-to-man and gone into a zone.
Overton with a nice play with a pass off Lieberst's hand out of bounds.
Now, that's not going to be a tight zone. That's going to be a zone that's going to be extended, because they're going to get out on those three-point shooters and let them, if there's going to be anything open, it'll be inside and not on the perimeter.
But does Notre Dame have the quickness defensively to get out 23 feet? That's a question.
They're going to have to.
They're not shooting 19-9. Tower fouled, and that's the fourth on Lieberst.
I'll tell you, Milko has had 2 or 3 fouls that, I mean, just aren't real good fouls for a guy that's a junior and has as much experience as he has. There's a guy, he's playing Tower out on the floor, and Tower's got his back to the basket, and he's bodying him and reaching in, taking all the chances in the world to get a foul.
14 fouls on LaSalle. John Ross with his first basket. This is the best offensive game Notre Dame has had since the West Virginia game here 3 weeks ago.
By far.
That was Ellis's last game, and they had a career high that night.
Tower's just now starting, Ted, to get a little tired. He's starting to breathe a lot harder than he was earlier, and there's still 9 minutes to go in this game.
Brooks Boyer.
Man-to-man defense.
Oh, that was a good catch. John Ross with a bad catch of a bad pass, right? Tower. Tower! 14 for Keith Tower. Brooks Boyer plays the big wad of gum in his mouth. I can't believe that. You don't see many basketball players chewing gum while they play. They left him alone, and Singleton snatches the loose ball away.
So we said all those guards were going to get those rebounds. Boy, LaSalle's people haven't been fouling their shots very well, have they, Ted?
No.
That was another one right there. If Holland had fouled that shot, it would have come right back to him.
And they're getting to a point in the game where they think they start needing to. They're down. This is the biggest lead at 14. We have 8:20 to play. Boyer is going to shoot it, but he couldn't catch it.
He was going to shoot it before he caught it, right?
And Tower hits another. 16 for Keith Tower. Now, we talked about LaSalle's big three, but it is Notre Dame's three that are taking over. Bennett, Tower, and Ellery have combined for 55 points, and Speedy Morris calls his last timeout.
Singleton, as you know, is second on the all-time assist list for Notre Dame. He has 11 assists tonight, 11, and he's got 473 coming into this game.
Jim, I think Speedy Morris made an emotional reaction and decision there and a tactical error.
I would say so. Tell him why.
Yeah, you look at the bad shooting. In 5 seconds, LaSalle would have gotten a free timeout for TV at a dead ball. Instead, he used up his last timeout of the game. And maybe because LaSalle is not on television often, not aware, although Sam Licklider, the lead official, had told Speedy previously he had only 1 timeout left. But after 8 minutes, you would have gotten a television timeout. It's Boyer missing. Overton with it. Plus now LaSalle with no timeouts remaining, and they're down 16 points.
That's a good call.
Yep.
That's a good call by Dan Taylor. Brooks Boyer was playing. He was in good position. He was able to move his feet and do what he wanted. But watch him. He's going to put his hands all over him right there. Good camera work. Look at it. You cannot do that, obviously. That's one of the rules. But also, number 2, you got to protect the man with the basketball. Well, they're not going to be able to wait around too long now, Ted, before they get the shots up. Some of the ones they were taking in the first half, they better get up now.
Well, this man's going to take over. He just got the 4th foul on Bennett. So Overton and Bennett play up until here at 7:13 remaining in the game without Fourth foul on either man, but now Bennett gets it, and he'll go for a few moments. Be replaced by Singleton. Sixth foul on Notre Dame.
It's interesting that you said that Bennett and Ellery and Tower had 55 points out of the 69 because Overton and Woods and Hurd had 32 of the 36 points that LaSalle had at halftime.
There's Overton's story tonight. He has 17. Woods has 17, and Hurd has 11. Overton has already passed. Now there's a steal. Woods took that errant pass. Ellery did a good job there to close out Woods' three-point try, but he goes up anyway. And Schultz is fouled in the rebound by Tower. Tower's first and the 7th on Notre Dame, so this will be a 1-and-1.
See, there's some of the kinds of things. Look at the rebounding for LaSalle. Offensively, very good in the first half. They were going to stop the penetration of Bennett and Singleton, which they haven't done. They haven't had a chance to run that break because they haven't been getting into it. Notre Dame have done a reasonably good job of containing the backboard. They've done a good job on controlling the boards, and they've gotten into transition defense very well. See, the point I was going to make is that's a foul that about 5 or 10 minutes ago I don't think Tower would have made. When you get tired like that, your instincts, you're just that split second behind, and that's what happened that time, and Schultz simply beat him to the basketball.
Those are the first 2 foul shots of Ray Schultz's collegiate career. First 2 successful ones. And we go under 7 minutes.
There's the 1-2-2. Good recognition. Good recognition. Get that big guy and bring him up as the outlet man and get the ball to him and then get into your offense. That's a good matchup for Ellery. That's a good matchup for Ellery if they can get the ball to him. Tim ought to try to plan in a little more, though. See, they're forcing him out too far from the basket.
Oh, nice great pass. Cut. And Sweet got harassed inside and didn't get the layup. Overton lost the dribble as he tried to go by Singleton. Oh, Notre Dame now will bring it back, and here's where they want to walk that fine line between patience to burn clock, but still get good shots.
And they did the last time. Boy, that was terrific execution, and what a great pass.
And that's the 4th on Overton.
Yep, and that's a frustration foul right there. There was no way that he should have fouled Tim Singleton. Now watch the hands. He just lost control. There was more that he lost control of the ball, Ted, than it was that Tim Singleton stripped it from him. In fairness to Doug Overton, he simply lost the handle on the basketball.
There you see how Singleton has picked up his points, and as Jim mentioned, 2nd in career assists at Notre Dame. He won't catch David Rivers, and 3rd in steals. Boyer to Ellery.
That's where Ellery's got to stay. He's letting precedent put him out a little too far from his comfort zone if he wants to set up inside. He's got to back him in a little more.
There's a 3 by President. And Brooks Boyer has it. Ellery with that last basket, a new career high, 21 points for Kevin Ellery.
Easy here.
Good little bounce pass, but Sweet walk. Damon Sweet travels, 5:09 remaining.
Digger's saying, boy, stay with it, stay with it. He was getting everything he wanted out of that possession, and then Damon was in just too much of a hurry and didn't put the ball down before he started to move.
Well, your time remaining now. Again, LaSalle with the 3-point shooting can score points quickly.
Notre Dame still in that zone defense, Ted. Doing a good job with it.
They're really extending out to the line. Knocked away, but Jack Hurd runs it down. And swept away from him by Sweet. And Boyer with a great pass ahead. And Sweet gets the basket and a foul.
Intentional foul.
Sweet with the basket and an intentional foul on LaSalle.
Well, I was was going to say, get a stick and kill it. I'll tell you that. Watch. Jack Hurd's going to come back. Now, watch the strip by Sweet. Now, Singleton with the knife. Now, Boyer. That's good presence of mind. Now, watch this shot. Oh, man, and he did it with his right hand, with his back to the basket. And Sam Licklider is calling an intentional foul, which means that they'll get the free throws, but now they're going to get the ball out of bounds right underneath the basket, not at the 10-second line.
Foul on Woods, intentional. Watching the replay, you know, it's an instinctive call. It looked like he made a play for the ball, though, which would not qualify it as an intentional foul.
It goes without saying that the LaSalle bench wasn't very happy about the call, but I'm sure that they can lose their objectivity at the same time.
Never us, though, Jim.
No.
Never us.
Never.
Damon Sweet makes it a 4-point play, and Notre Dame will get possession as they've blown it open. But still, 4:41, and the way LaSalle plays the game, you can't really feel like it's put away yet.
I tell you, they've just done it. Notre Dame has. You know, you haven't noticed that the lead is as big as it is right now, the way they've been playing.
The Irish will keep it. What you'd love to see them here is be able to pull the ball out and run the clock under 4 minutes. Now with an 18-point lead, they don't necessarily need to get good shots. Just run clock here. Now they shoot quick. Now Ellery, and now you want to, I just say pull it out here. Now you run clock. 18-point lead. Knocked away by Woods, but out of bounds. And Notre Dame will keep it with 28 seconds on the shot clock. 4:20 on the game clock. Speedy Morris's LaSalle Explorers have a 7-game winning streak on the line here. Lower left is the shot clock. And Sweet inside. That takes care of that. Well for Damon Sweet. Shot 70% in the second half. Lieberst inside. Gets the hoop, just his second. One thing for Notre Dame this year, Jim, they have been, despite all of the personnel turnovers and changes and injuries, they've been a pretty good shooting team.
They went through that one stretch, wasn't it, when we were doing the Miami game and a couple of others when they were in the bad shooting slump? But boy, since then, you're right, Ted, they have done a very good job.
And they've made all of their makeable shots tonight. They haven't really made too many difficult ones, but they've made all the ones they should make.
I'll tell you one thing.
Oh, Ellery with a three.
Speedy's got 5 people right there. I think he's waving the flag.
Yeah, he is. And it's really about over now, though. Woods hits a 3. 20 points for Woods. He's made 5 threes tonight. And again, for Speedy, he's going to look at this as a non-conference game in the middle of his conference season.
And the nice thing about it is he's giving these young men a chance to play in a game at Notre Dame.
And to get to the 64-team party is still what Speedy wants, and he still knows his conference what's going to do that for him. LaSalle is 8-1 right now in their conference.
I'll tell you, I don't know if you'll agree with me, except for one stretch in the first half. I can't pinpoint it right now, Ted, as to when it was. This is as good of 40 minutes of basketball as I've seen by Notre Dame's team this year. And this is not a bad LaSalle basketball team.
And what's nice about Notre Dame, now here they played the last 5 minutes without Elmer Bennett. And they've kept it up. In fact, they've stretched the lead open without Bennett.
With Brooks Boyer in there. Exactly. Good point.
And Overton at the line. We're going to see more of that the rest of the year. Digger said he's going to play Boyer and the Rosses and Cozen a little bit more.
Brooks has become an effective outside shooter, and he's seeing more time.
And Overton makes them both, and that'll be it. Doug Overton will leave with 20 points tonight as Notre Dame will win its 9th game of the year. Remaining, and the Notre Dame men are about ready to post their 9th win of the year. Notre Dame still, because of their preseason NIT, they're going to play 32 games. They still have 10 games remaining. in this season, despite having lost 13 games already.
I tell you, this should give them a ton of confidence going into the Syracuse game on Saturday.
David Swede has it, 16 for Swede. Most of the Notre Dame points, almost all of them, have come from 4 men. Ellery, you saw, has a career-high 24. Bennett has 20. Tower and Swede each have 16. That is Mike Stock in the game for LaSalle, and he won't want to remember that shot. And the crowd reacting as Digger's going to empty his bench, including bringing on freshman Oliver Gibson, who is the crowd favorite, at least the student body favorite. Oliver Gibson, member of the Notre Dame football team, number 34. He's in with Posen, Joe Ross, and the walk-on, Matt Adamson, who gets a chance to play. There's Gibson, who's going to see some time in the defensive line for the Irish footballers in the fall. A minute 35 remaining.
At the bottom of the screen, you could see Digger go to each one of the players that just came out of the game to congratulate them on a great performance.
Well, it's got to make Digger and all the players happy. We mentioned earlier, Notre Dame's had trouble closing games out. They've had a few games they could easily have won that got away from them. Tonight, they never let LaSalle threaten here in the second half.
They were focused, I'll tell you that. They were focused from start to finish.
Ray Schultz hits it. There's Adamson up for Notre Dame. The crowd wanting, it's always been a tradition here for the crowds to really root for the walk-ons. Adamson missing a 3. Remember in South Bend zone, Tommy Vargo was on the
I know it.
early Digger Phelps team.
Still living in South Bend. Oh my God.
Well, Gibson has his basket wiped out.
The game plan right now is that Adamson's going to shoot and Gibson's going to shoot, and those are the ground rules with Digger, and that's why Tim Singleton brought the ball back out and started setting up the offense.
Adamson has 4 points in his season, but Gibson hasn't scored yet. And let's face it, these chances may not come too often the rest of the year for these guys. And there's a rebound for Gibson in the final minute. Adamson had it slapped away, but he saves a nice little pass to Joe Ross. All right, nice job there by Matt Adamson. And at 28 seconds, Joe Ross will go to the line as Don Shelton fouls. And for Digger, career victory number 390 tonight as he creeps up on that very, very prestigious 400 win mark. He'd love to say he's going to get it this year, but he may have to wait until early next year to celebrate that one. And it is Syracuse coming here Saturday with a little revenge on their minds for Notre Dame's buzzer-beating win at Syracuse last year. And Gibson's going to be called for a foul.
You know, one of the other things, Ted, that I wanted to mention earlier was that on New Year's Eve, that Overton had 45 points and Brooks had 46 points, and they ushered out the 2-player single-game scoring record and ushered in their own in that 133-118 win over Loyola Marymount. And guess who had the old record?
Most points by 2 players in a game? Well, I don't know who.
Austin Carr and Collis Jones in 1973.
Austin Carr and Collis Jones. With it, and Don Shelton is fouled at 12 seconds. So Oliver Gibson is taught in football, put your body on somebody. He's definitely following through with his instructions.
You're right.
For Oliver Gibson, this is a contact sport.
So
remember,
get somebody in a different colored jersey, right? There's a little body contact right there.
There's Shelton at the line with 12 seconds remaining. Our next Sports Channel Notre Dame telecast will be on the 18th of February. Back here at the Joyce Center when Creighton will be in to meet the Fighting Irish.
Tony Baroni, and they've got the dynamic duo, Bob Harstad and Chad Gallagher. I do a lot of their games, and two great young men, and he's got another quality basketball team.
They beat Notre Dame last year in Omaha. Holland goes in, and that will be the final points. And Notre Dame, a very impressive victory for the Irish tonight. From start to finish, one of their best games of the year. Very happy, Digger Phelps. He's had too many unhappy handshakes this year. He'll savor this one.
You bet. You bet.
And the Irish tonight break LaSalle's 7-game win streak. Just the 4th loss for the Explorers. Notre Dame 84-68.